One of the most hyped up press conferences in recent memory. I almost can't believe I said that. This was wild and I can't begin to describe what made it wild. You have to see it for yourself. So to set the stage, Cody Rhodes' story since his return to WWE was all about winning the title his father never officially held, the WWE Championship. This was a big talking point of Cody's story throughout the year, and I was convinced he was winning at WrestleMania, but he didn't. This posed a huge risk of continuing Roman's run in a time where he didn't have interesting feuds and stories. There was of course the Jay one, but that was the exception. Personally speaking, I didn't want to see Roman holding the title for another year because it doesn't help anyone. His story, the fact that there's no world champion around, and everyone's affected by it. The idea of The Rock coming back was slim and unlikely. Why would he come back after being so busy in Hollywood? That's the thing. Rock being busy in Hollywood was no longer a concern. His image has taken a bit of a hit due to a couple of reasons. I'm not going to try and lie and say his time in Hollywood is ruined because that would be a lie. He's still one of the biggest movie stars in the world, but coupled with the failure of Black Adam, the way he conducted himself on the set and his interest in bringing in Superman and all that, the fact that he swore off Fast and Furious and only returned after his DC run flopped, XFL hasn't gone underway, WWE is a place where in his eyes he'd be fully accepted. At the same time, Cody Rhodes won his second Royal Rumble, and it seemed like a collision course with Roman Reigns was set for WrestleMania in Philadelphia. A story that Cody was determined to finish for 2 years now. It took a while to get there, but wait, The Rock's back and he basically takes his spot. So let's slow down for a moment. WWE's kind of made it seem like they have no idea what they're doing. We don't really know ourselves if this was the plan or they pivoted. If you ask me, they pivoted because it seemed so sudden. So this press conference was hyped. In the home of Super Bowl 58, WWE put on a masterclass showing you how to hype a match. As I said, they most likely changed plans. Why would Cody say, I won't finish the story at WrestleMania? They muted The Rock boos on Raw, and the backlash was far too much. I saw some say this was WWE trying to distract from the lawsuit the company and Vince are involved in, but that would be short-sighted because the moment any new information comes out, the attention will be on it. I'm assuming it was WWE thinking Rock was going to make them more money and bring mainstream attention. This only solidified Cody Rhodes as the next face of WWE. If anything, he's the unofficial face of the company at the moment. It's important to mention that Rock's role in TKO coincided with his return, so in some ways it was him politicking. Regardless of what's revealed, I'm still going to believe they changed plans because The Rock and Roman Reigns has been a dream match for years. Hell, I even wanted to see it a while ago, but Rock's not up to par. His problem is conditioning and ring rust. He was already struggling 10 years ago. Now if he goes in there, God forbid, but worst case scenario, it's going to be Derrick Rose, Anthony Davis, Eden Hazard, and Marco Royce rolled into one. He's going to hurt himself. They got to work it safe, and that's the biggest problem with the match at WrestleMania at the moment. If he does it later on, there's a better chance of him working well, exercising, getting into match condition. So that's why I don't want to see the match. If it can't be good as a full package from the promos, the build, and the match, I don't want it. That said, if they do in the future, I'm obviously going to be watching. I didn't say I wasn't watching. So Rock could have convinced them that his return to the company could bring them a lot of money and mainstream notoriety, because at the end of the day, money is what matters. That moment seeing him take Cody's spot on SmackDown was so badly done that I questioned the entire thing. How could you go and make somebody whose main goal was to finish the story turn down the chance without a proper explanation and making him look like a loser? It's dumb, and that's the biggest reason why I think Rock versus Roman was the original plan. If that crowd on Raw cheered, social media didn't complain, we all know they would have done Rock and Roman. Now with that said, heading into this press conference, there was a lot of interest and intrigue. Will WWE go through with it and make Rock and Roman official, or will Cody get his chance to finish the story? It was incredible. CM Punk and Big E were on the panel for the show along with Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. They teased Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, but everyone was there for one reason, the main event. And they didn't disappoint. Roman and Seth got into it with Roman basically making a joke out of him, calling his title the second title, and said that they should get this bum out of here. Hell, Roman even made his choice for WrestleMania instead of allowing Cody to make it. He chose The Rock. And when he came out, that crowd ate him. It seemed like a mixed reaction initially, and I thought it was too, but once they knew a match was about to go down, they booed. They hated this guy. Rock had started getting with the reaction of the fans and called them the Cody crybabies earlier on, so I felt like he was leaning in towards being a heel. It was almost overwhelming, and I never saw him in such an uncomfortable position, because this guy doesn't play villain in his movies. Why would he be a heel again for the first time in 20 years when he refuses to do so? It felt like he got flustered. It was so much heat, and it wasn't just heel heat. They didn't like him because he's out here stealing title matches. It felt like the guy was tone deaf. He's talking in a way he's pissing them off. And the crazy part is, again, if they didn't lean into it, this would have been the same promo just without the minor insults. He would have talked and been tone deaf if the fans never turned on the match initially. I personally think this would have been the exact same promo, except with The Rock delusionally thinking they would cheer him. They showed the Bloodline family tree, and it felt like in storyline that The Rock and Roman wanted a Samoan circle jerk main event. Then Cody came out. He had enough and finally made his decision. Unlike The Rock, the crowd was by his side. He chose Roman Reigns much to the dismay of the Bloodline. It was Cody sabotaging this bloodline main event and ruining their plans. Roman insulted his father Dusty, leading to Cody going off on them and saying they're fighting for the head of the table when neither of them had been cooking for 2 years. That was a nice line. And how their family is ruined and full of goons. He even said that if both of their grandfathers were here, they'd be ashamed, and this led to The Rock defending his family, so he slapped them. It was intense, and even Seth Rollins got involved. The World Champion should have left earlier, but it seems like they're building multiple stories. Me personally, I thought it was absolutely sad how he got buried out there. He wasn't buried literally, but you get what I mean, with Roman Reigns throwing shots at him, making him look inferior, when he's the guy that Roman Reigns couldn't beat during his title reign. But there's a lot of storylines going down, but it seems like they're building multiple stories. The Rock with his position of power pissing off Triple H, which is something they mentioned. Him potentially taking the leader role of the bloodline, and of course him taking Cody's title shot. It's a great opening. Seth's being bullied for being a worthless champion, which I thought was dumb. They could have had him involved without the shots at the title. It makes it seem like nothing. And then you had The Rock telling Triple H to solve this stuff. He didn't like the fact that Cody insulted his family, which wasn't what he did. He looked like a bitch. It was nice and wonderfully done. Cody Rhodes reigning on the Bloodline Parade and in turn bringing out The Rock's true colors. What makes it so good is that The Rock was a natural in this role. He fit so comfortably because of the fact that he was basically doing all of this in real life. He was taking somebody else's spot. Hell, this was The Rock's best acting moment in a while, basically. I haven't seen him act like this in a long ass time on the screen or in ring. So it was nice, it was fresh, and there's a lot of options. They could have the triple threat match. They could have The Rock in Roman Reigns' corner potentially. That leads to a long story. A lot of stuff could go down. This is probably going to be WWE's biggest storyline this year. On the net, I'm glad WWE pivoted. Cody Rhodes has earned this opportunity. I don't think they should have even considered having The Rock do what he did. People say it's all planned. I personally don't believe it. I just don't think they had it in them to do it. If I'm proven wrong, good, nice. I'd be glad to be proven wrong in this case, but like, I just don't see it. Other than that, yeah, it was a nice story. We might see a tag team match with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes to face the Bloodline. We'll see. There's a lot of options that could go down with this, and I'm interested. It's nice. So yeah. Alright, what you guys think of the WrestleMania 40 press conference? Please comment down below, and that's the first video. Make sure you hit the crossroads on the like button and press the rock bottom on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.